Hey, I'm George from MovieWeb. How are you both?
Good. How are
Good,
you?
George. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Excited to talk about this. I guess I want to start, Jennifer, maybe you can jump in on this. What kind of motivates, if there's an overarching theme or effort to kind of, as you pull these things together for each season of this series, really, it's different each time, and we're getting all these different tastes. And is there something you're kind of looking for each time that's like, this time we want to try this or explore that, or like, is there a method to the madness of that a little bit?
I think Robert Valley actually said it well, and that this is curated kind of like an album, where it's an experience over the whole thing, where you get all this different variety. There's ebbs and flows to it. There's comedy. There's darkness. There's like photoreal. There's 2D animation. There's stop motion. There's everything in there, but it's all about the variety, and each one reflects the personal sort of specialization of artists and studios all around the world. That's kind of the focus of this show, to give that variety and to show everybody like what animation can be.
Yeah, I love how it shows you different directions things can be pushed in, right? And you get to see things go in these directions you didn't know possible necessarily. Um,
I would say the theme is that there is no theme.
Cats and babies, maybe.
Yeah.
Keeps us on our toes. You keep watching, you're like, I don't know where we're going. I don't know.
Yeah, where's this one going to go? I like that sense of wonder. It does take away a little bit from the serial watching of an episode, because the previous one doesn't lead you into the next one, but it's also a surprise. I
Totally.
guess it's, do you like eating a candy bar, or do you like Cracker Jacks? Because you never know what's in the box with a Cracker Jack.
Yes, it is like that. I want to, segue to the challenges, Tim. Like, you've worked on so many different kinds of projects and animated projects. People love this. People love Sonic 3, my family included. And I'm curious, like, it's a different thing, right? Because it's one story and it's this ongoing story and you got to build on it. And I know there's a lot of curiosity about where Sonic's going and stuff. And what's happening in the world of Sonic at this point?
I think it's no secret that Jeff is working away on number 4. But I will say that that Sonic, like Love, Death, and Robots, it's about finding the right person for the material. And Jeff, when Sonic came to Blur, Jeff was the obvious choice for that, because I knew he was a huge fan. And it's just his tone. It fit his tone really well. And he's done a great job. Every movie is better than the last one. And I know a little bit about what's coming, and it's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. People love hearing those kinds of teases. I think I'd be curious to know what you guys, when you're looking through the artists you're working with on each of these, if you are trying to create an intentionally eclectic mix that's like, we got to find something that completely contrasts with this, and like you say, the order, like the track listing, like, is that was interesting to me in watching it, because I was like, you go from this kind of style to like, oh, now I'm in this completely different one. Do you try to coordinate or mix and match in that way? Is there a system there? And like, yeah, just talk about picking how you pick a story or how you pick an artist.
Picking a story, picking an artist, that's a long-winded process. It's generally a messy process, where we put all the stories up on the wall and figure out, how are these going to sit next to each other. We literally make cards to see, do they fit nicely, just tonally, do they experientially, do they fit nicely together? And then we find the directors and studios that might actually make those the best version of that. Like, some stories are better in live action, some stories are better in stop motion, every single style has its like stories that lend themselves to that. And sometimes directors just show up, and we might give them several stories and have them pick one that really speaks to them. So it's across the board, all of them are different. Each one is absolutely a different process, as different as the directors and the studios we work with.
But curating the order, the overriding principle is, some of these are so intense that we try not to like beat people into submission. There's certain shorts, like in this one, it's How Zeke Got Religion. It's hard to watch something if you put another big action piece, right, like if you put Scream the Tyrannosaur right behind that. It's going to be hard, because there's a lot of violence, a lot of action. So we try and, give you a little time to recover, assuming that people are going to binge the whole thing, which it's not that hard to do because it's not that long. But
Yeah, that's true. But it's so beautifully, painstakingly detailed. Each one is like so intricate. It's really lovely in that way. Are there things, this is a tough question probably, but Tim, I'll ask you first. What do you want to see done in animation that you haven't seen? Like, I mean, I feel like you're at the fore of pushing things with this anyway, but I'm curious, like after this, you're probably, part of you is like, well, we just did some stuff that I want to have seen, but like, what else? Where's the frontier?
Right now I love animation in all forms, but I am really interested in both experimental animation, but also animation that is really indistinguishable from live action. Not in the subject matter, because what I would like it to prove in the fullness of time is that animation can be anything. It is the tool that you can use to tell any story that you want, not just stories that fit a certain creative way of working. And again, I don't want to replace live action, or I don't want to. I do live action, so I know the difference. But yeah, I'd like to be able to tell some bigger scope stories in a way that only animation will allow.
Well, I got to wrap, but thank you both so much for your time and great work on this. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks,
Thank
George.
you.